Welcome to At Home on the Sound's 2024 Annual Gala. Please welcome our co-presidents, Marion Gindis and Colleen Steyer, to the podium.
Good evening. I'm so happy to see all of you. I wanted to make sure that I welcomed you properly to our annual event. Is it a gala or is it a gala? I decided to turn to our universal expert, Google, and found that whether you say gala or gala, you are correct. So don't worry. Welcome to our gala. On a more serious note, thank you for being here. To help us mark another year, we have committed to improving the lives of the seniors in our community. Every year, the members of our Gala committee, whose names, by the way, are in your program, take a look, huddle together in a brainstorming session to come up with a theme. This year, we are living the dream. What is the dream we want to live? Thoreau said, live the life you've imagined. At Home on the Sound's dream is to help the seniors of our Larchmont, Mamaroneck, Rhinebeck community live the life they imagined. To help give our members the lives they want as they get older. So many seniors continue to live in their own homes and in the community they call home. We provide services that enable them to meet that desire. We have, for example, transportation for people who can no longer drive. You can learn to play canaster at our office. You can attend a lecture by an expert. You can even find a volunteer who will come to your home and change your light bulb. This year, we are introducing programs led by social workers to help our members navigate the issues as they age. We do all that and much, much more, and that's great. But what makes At Home on the Sound so special, unique, and important? As a psychologist, I can tell you what it is. We provide a space for our members to connect with others, to be with others, to develop and nurture relationships with others. You can make new friends and stay connected to old friends. The relationships we have with other people throughout our lives enhance and enrich our lives. That's just as true when you are old as it is when you are young. Being together as we age is what keeps us vibrant, healthy, and happy. Whether we are at a lecture or we're knitting together, we are not alone. We are not alone. We are like a family, and At Home on the Sound is here for the members of our family. To me, that is the essence of At Home on the Sound. Thank you. But I'm not quite done. Before I leave, I'm pleased to turn to my co-president, Colleen Steyer. I want to say a few words about Colleen. Colleen's not old enough to be a member. You may have noticed I am. But she has been a volunteer for our organization from the very beginning. Without dedicated volunteers like Colleen, At Home would not have gotten off the ground, and we would not be gathered here today to celebrate our accomplishments and plan for the future. Thank you, Colleen, and all the volunteers who are here, thank you.
Thank you, Marion. Good evening, everyone. To begin, Marion and I so appreciate the dedicated work of our Gala committee, the entire staff of Mamaroneck Beach and Yacht Club, our fantastic DJ from Beyond Music, our AV company, Superior Audio Visual, And our photographer today, he's floating around, there he is, hi today, from TZV Photography. Also, how fortunate At Home on the Sound is for our executive director, Gloria Spadafino-Gali, and our administration manager, Adriana Berlingo. These two juggled a monumental task that requires, and keeping many of us on task in the planning of this evening. You have all played an integral role. Also, I want to acknowledge Marian Gindes, my co-president. Her unwavering dedication and commitment to At Home on the Sound is a true testament to what the organization is all about. She is a colleague, a mentor, and a friend. And I am honored to work alongside her. My focus this evening is on generational connections. The more diverse in age, culture, education, ethnicity, and life experience, the better for us all. I have had more than a few people in their 80s tell me, I'm just not ready for At Home on the Sound, as if it were a surrender to join. I will say this to you all. On July 24th, 2029, I will be joining the ever-growing and evolving organization as a member. And I will continue to volunteer because, as Marian said, we are a family in community with one another. And by the way, 60 is the minimum age, so I just gave away my age. Those who join At Home on the Sound or volunteer for us find their lives to be more enriched. I can attest. It's been 13 years. We are another resource in addition to the houses of worship and local clubs in the Larchmont, Mamaroneck, and Rhinebeck area, and we plan to continue to further these relationships with other local organizations. As I close out my first year as co-president, I am seeing more and more of how At Home has a positive impact on all involved, from the many wonderful programs to the variety of activities happening each month to the many services we provide in response to individual interests. I hope some of you tonight will join us in volunteering or becoming a member, or both. We are a dynamic organization of people who want to discover more, to be inspired more, to think more, and my personal favorite, to play more, because we've earned it. Thank you for your support. We are deeply grateful for all of you. I would now like to introduce to you our Executive Director, Gloria Spadafino-Gali.
Thank you, Colleen. Good evening and welcome again to our first ever sold out spring gala. My name is Gloria Spadafino-Gali and I'm the Executive Director of At Home on the Sound. I am so happy to be here at my third gala at Mamaroneck Beach and Yacht Club. We are here tonight to pay tribute to one of our longtime volunteers and past president, Janet O'Connell, and to honor co-anchor of NBC, yes, Janet. And to honor co-anchor of NBC News Daily, Kate Snow. I would like to begin by thanking all our hugely generous sponsors for supporting us and believing in our mission. We have so much support from all of you. I'd like to make a special mention to Toyota City, one of our largest sponsors who is here with us tonight. Thank you so much. We are able to do what we do in part because of you, and we are extremely grateful. We also have some elected officials who are here tonight who are able to join us, and we thank them for being here as well. Next, I would like to recognize our co-presidents of the board, Marian Gindes and Colleen Steyer. I am so grateful, not only for their support of this organization, but for me personally, as we work together to continue to move At Home on the Sound forward. I would also like to thank the entire Gala committee. You are the behind-the-scenes team, from sponsors to raffles to the magnificent invitations and artwork that you see here tonight. Thank you. Yes, yes, thank you, thank you. And I would be remiss if I did not mention my partner, my administration manager, Adriana Berlingo. I am so lucky to have you by my side every day, and I would be lost without you. Thank you for all that you do. Tonight is not only a fundraiser, it is a celebration of our growth. As an organization, we are stronger now than we have ever been. Our programs and services have cultivated a powerful community of vitality and connection. Embracing the future requires courage and optimism. It demands that we shift our focus from what was to what could be. We will take valuable lessons learned from our history, welcome new ideas, and be open to new ways of thinking and doing. Our vision for the future is one of growth, innovation, and impact. The best is yet to come, and together we can make it a reality. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you all are enjoying the evening so far. Thank you. I am so honored to get to introduce our tribute tonight, Janet O'Connell. Yes. Janet began volunteering for At Home on the Sound long before she was eligible to become a member. Janet has played many roles in our organization, beginning as a driver and then volunteering for the Gala, where she brought professional level of organizing skills to the role. She was the leader of the pack as well as a mentor for the rest of us. She has been unflagging in her efforts to perfect the raffle process and its contents, and she has overseen that task for over a decade. A certified financial planner, Janet was also the treasurer of At Home and served as president. As president of the board, she was a thoughtful and effective leader. Her style encouraged others to work with her. She engaged the board and the organization as a whole, bringing a spirit of community and caring to her job. On a personal note, I would like to say that in my tenure, I have been extremely lucky to have the guidance and support of Janet. She has always been available for ideas, thoughts, and questions that I have had while navigating what was a new role for me. So I would like to thank you for that, Janet. Thank you. Volunteering is not just an act of kindness. It is a commitment to bettering the lives of others, a testament to the power of empathy and solidarity. Today we celebrate someone who has embraced this commitment wholeheartedly, transforming it into a way of life. Janet's volunteerism is not merely about giving time. It is about giving heart, sharing wisdom, and building connections that transcend generations. Please welcome to the podium our tribute tonight, Janet O'Connell.
Gloria, thank you very much for your introduction. And a warm welcome and thanks to everyone who is here tonight to support At Home on the Sound, and especially Kate Snow. I am thrilled to be recognized for my years of service with At Home. It has been a source of great pleasure and satisfaction to work with such a remarkable group of people: At Home members, the staff, and of course, my fellow volunteers. I have made friends whom I would never have met if I hadn't volunteered. And thanks to some of them, I've learned to play mahjong. When I was a teenager, I worked as a Nader's Raider, and that was a transformative experience for me. With a group of high school classmates, I spent a summer in Washington, D.C., as we investigated nursing homes and other issues related to the elderly. Ralph Nader published our study as a book. The title was Old Age, the Last Segregation. As the title of our book suggests, aging can be extremely isolating, especially for those who have chosen to stay in their own homes. We live in a vibrant and active community with a lot of type A's running around because of the very things that draw people to live here: the excellent schools, the local sports teams for young people, the walkability and biking, and the easy commute, residents can be unaware of their older neighbors. No one has enough hours in their day to look out for everyone. A solitary, segregated life can lead to loneliness, poor health, and even mental decline. At Home on the Sound helps mitigate the challenges of this segregation through its programs, activities, dine-abouts, happy hours, the driving, and sometimes just a friendly voice on the phone. Please join me as a volunteer. It is easy to sign up, it's fun, and extremely satisfying. Thank you again for this recognition.
Good evening. Kate Snow's 30-plus year career in journalism began as a Cornell freshman when she noticed a dorm poster that a DJ was needed for an off-campus radio station. But when she applied for the job, she was thrilled to learn of an open news position and promptly filled it for the next 4 years. After Cornell, she earned a master's degree in international affairs at Georgetown's University School of Foreign Service. Kate began working for CNN behind the scenes, but wanted to be present in front of the camera. She sent a demonstration tape to 100 stations and received rejections from 97. But more importantly, she got 3 acceptances. She took a job in Carlsbad, New Mexico, and then worked in Roswell and Albuquerque. From there, she went on to become a White House correspondent for ABC News and a congressional correspondent for CNN, prior to joining the NBC News in 2010. Kate was the anchor of the weekend edition of ABC's Good Morning America. Kate has covered politics throughout her career, including interviews with every president: Jimmy Carter, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden. She interviewed Obama before many people knew his name and thought, oh my gosh, this man is so talented. He's going to be president. She interviewed rock star Bono in a stairwell at Fordham University. Kate has covered natural disasters, but is best known for her insightful stories about issues that often do not get enough attention. She has addressed mental health, substance abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault, and the welfare of children. In 2014, she received an Emmy for her series, Hooked: America's Heroin Epidemic, which prompted a congressional hearing and legislative action. Her 2015 series about transgender children was called A Phenomenon and was viewed by millions. In 2019, she won another Emmy for her exclusive sit-down interview with Andrea Constand and with 27 other Cosby accusers all in one room. It's hard to imagine. Constand's decision to break her 13-year silence was the key to leading to Bill Cosby's conviction, although that was, as you know, was later overturned. In 2022, Kate received the Gracie Award for a series about the difficulty women have in reporting domestic abuse during custody battles. Kate hosts NBC's The Drink with Kate Snow. Over the course of a drink with Olympians, politicians, actors, and others, she unpacks their success stories. When chimpanzee expert Jane Goodall was asked if she wanted tea, she said yes, but when it arrived, she said, oh, no, I want some good whiskey. Australian-American musician Rick Springfield revealed that the inspiration for his Jesse's girl, came from a girl that he met in a stained glass class. She didn't want anything to do with him, so he took his sexual angst home and wrote a song that zoomed to the very top of the charts. For 8 years, Kate was the anchor of NBC's Nightly News Sunday, and now is the anchor of the NBC's Daily News. A longtime Larchmont resident, Kate has worked closely with many charitable organizations and is married to Chris Bro, who's here tonight, and has 2 children. Kate's reporting has focused on storytelling, on making connections between people. At Home on the Sound's mission is also to enhance connections and to foster strong, supportive, resourceful community to ensure that no elder has to face challenges alone. At Home is pleased to honor Kate Snow, and please join us in welcoming her. Oh, that was wonderful.
Thank you so much. Ellie, you are amazing. Isn't she amazing? Can we just give it up for Ellie? Ellie, thank you. Thank you so much to everyone who's here, who made time to come out on a, what is it, Thursday? Thursday night. Ellie is my friend. She's my neighbor. She is just a wonderful human being who does so much for the community, and I really want to thank you. I feel like you should be getting the award, Ellie. Thank you. I tell stories for a living. I'm not going to talk that long. I know you guys are, we're almost done with dinner. But I do tell stories for a living as an anchor, as a correspondent, as Ellie said. And I really love to dig into stories that aren't getting enough attention, as she alluded to. So I do often report on stories that end up deeply affecting seniors, like Medicare pricing, like housing issues, retirement, mental health, loneliness, all the kinds of things that everyone copes with as we age. We're actually going to be doing a whole series of stories on the show that Ellie mentioned that I'm anchoring now called NBC News Daily. We're going to do a whole series this summer of stories that have to do with seniors. So it's something that I'm very connected to and I really care about. I think it's important, right? It's obvious, it's important. So I think some of the stories that I've done, just to give you a sense if you don't watch NBC, have really helped me learn more about what it is to be a senior in this country right now. And by the way, I'm almost one myself. I'm 5 years away from qualifying for At Home on the Sound. And now you all know, there you go. It's on Wikipedia anyway, so who cares, right? But I think about the stories that I did during COVID, which was such a hard time for all of us. And I was in my home broadcasting out of my basement in Larchmont. And we were doing stories about nursing homes. And we investigated facilities that had subpar care, right? Where frankly they were failing their residents. People weren't doing well. And that was important. And we talked with families who were making that tough decision about whether to keep their family members with them or have them live in an assisted living situation or move them back home if they had been in assisted living during COVID. These are deeply personal issues that affect almost every family around. I've done a number of reports about loneliness and mental health, but particularly loneliness. And I think one of the most eye-opening stories for me was we shot it up in Connecticut, and it was about the antidote to loneliness. How do you be less lonely? And the big solution that we found, and this is so obvious, but it's volunteering. It's giving your time to someone else. And I interviewed a woman in her 70s who was volunteering at a really wonderful restaurant that serves unhoused people or people who can't afford a meal. And she told me that it had changed her life to do this volunteer work. And before that, she had been deeply lonely. So I know everyone in this room, or most of you in this room, understand what I'm talking about because you are giving. You are volunteering. That's why you're here tonight. You care about other people. And you know that that not only helps the people that you're helping, but it helps you, right? It makes us better, yeah. I do, along the same lines, I do a series. I think this is maybe one thing that Ellie didn't mention, is that I do a series of stories on NBC called Good News. We like to highlight good news. And I focus on people. I used to do it on nightly news if you watched on Sunday, but now I'm doing it on my daily show. And we focus in usually on people helping other people, because those are the stories that don't get enough attention in the news cycle, right? When we're covering wars and all kinds of very serious political stories. We don't focus on the good all the time that's happening. And I remember, I will never forget, meeting this Navy veteran named Kenny Jari. I don't know if anyone knows who he is, but you need to look him up when you get home, because Kenny Jari is this joyful, joyful human being who, I forget how old he is. I think he's over 90 years old. And Kenny needed a new mobility scooter, and he didn't have the money to buy a new scooter. And a young woman somehow found out about Kenny in her town, and she put Kenny on TikTok. Y'all know what TikTok is, right? Has anybody seen Kenny Jari on TikTok? Is there anybody? Yes, I knew a couple people. Frank, you know. So Kenny, they put up this post, and he's just this vibrant personality who you just want to love. And so they put up this video, and all of a sudden, 1,000, 10,000 people, 20,000 people, 1 million people had watched it. And they gave so much money that not only did Kenny get a scooter, but they raised money for lots of other people to pay it forward and give scooters to all kinds of people. And that was the story that we told on the nightly news. And I was really proud of that, because it told his story, but it also showed what paying it forward does for a community. I'm going to tell you one last story, and then I'll stop. But one of my favorite stories that I ever did for NBC was a few years ago. I got to go to China, to really rural Southwest China. And I went to an area where the people are called the Moso people. And it is a matrilineal society. So that means, yes, that means women are in charge. And not just women, but grandmothers. The women who are the eldest in their family are in charge of the house, and not just the house, the whole, it's like a compound where people live, and they're in charge of everything. And not only are they in charge, but grandma is revered in that position and respected. And one of the things that I love most about living in this community, I live in Larchmont, I love that we value and we respect our elders here. I mean, this group at home on the Sound is just evidence of how much we care about every single person in this community, no matter what age they are. And so the caring and the giving and the love in this room is, I think, what should be celebrated tonight. I appreciate that you're honoring me, but I really want to honor all of you for the work that you're doing every single day, because you're doing the hard work, and it matters. It really matters. We moved here 10 years ago, Chris and I, with our 2 kids, and we raised our kids here. This community is special. It has a soul. It has people like everyone in this room looking out for each other. And I think that is really, really special. Thank you so much. I'm super appreciative. And applause to you.